Call city council meeting for Tuesday, November 18th, 2025 in session. Can I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Boki.
Here.
McCann.
Here.
Spendy. Voss.
Here.
Dotson.
Here.
Burbank.
Here.
Rainey.
Here.
And Mayor Jessup.
Here.
We have 6 of the council and the mayor present.
Thank you. This time I would ask that everyone please rise if you're able to for the presentation of the flags from the Owatonna Department Honor Guard, and following that will be the Pledge of Allegiance led by City Council Member Dave Burbank.
Attention. For arms. Forward. March. Ready, folks? Present arms.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
For arms. Ready, face. Forward, march.
All right, good to see so many people here tonight. First up tonight, 1.1 is a Lionel Hospital update. And we've had a lot of meetings in the last month, 6 weeks, and I think we are ready for a very good update.
Good evening, council members and elected officials. Thank you for having me here today. I'm Lee Johnson, I serve as the hospital president for Owatonna Hospital, Fairville Medical Center, and Mall Medical Center, all part of Ryan Health. We have had quite a lot of contact over the course of the last handful of weeks here in combination with also leaders from our public affairs team. So the update I'd like to provide, and for those of you who are not as familiar with this topic, I'll just give a little bit of background first. be open in mid-December. And we look forward to taking care of patients both on the ambulatory side and then within the hospital. Additionally, we continue to work hard with Mayo on transition planning so that the patients have good continuity of care. They have access to appointments to transition to a line of providers so that they can still have the opportunity to deliver in Owatonna Hospital. Any questions from you at all?
Just a comment, thank you. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, I will say, Mayor Jessup, myself, too, Mr. Tuma, we're all in these meetings, and we really appreciate the honesty, the integrity that Alina showed throughout this whole process. It was a very challenging thing that we were hopeful for a better outcome than what we first heard. And Alina stepped up and made sure that happened. And with that, Mayor Jessup.
Yeah, I want to second what Kevin said, Whitney. I really appreciate you being open and honest and present with us throughout this whole process. Yeah, it would be easy for these larger entities to kind of brush off a city and its representatives, but you stepped up, you were willing to have meetings with us, you listened, you were open with us, and I truly appreciate it. And I'm glad that we're here listening to you say this evening. Thank you.
You all.
Thank you, Whitney.
Thank you.
Okay, next thing up tonight is 1.2, the council agenda. There are no changes or corrections. With that, I look for a motion to approve the council agenda.
So move.
Motion by Dan to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Nate. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the swearing-in ceremony. Before we start, I would ask that the officers and firefighters that are being sworn in, take a look around. There are a lot of your brothers and sisters in the industry that are here tonight to support you. It's great to see the support that Owatonna shows for their firefighters, their police, their first responders. So with that, to swear in, I would invite Police Chief Hoffman and Fire Chief Hoffman and Police Chief Mundale to step forward.
Thank you, Council President Rainey. May I proceed?
Yes.
Good evening, everybody. Mayor, Council, City Administrator Tuma, distinguished guests, colleagues, friends, families, citizens of Owatonna. It's my honor to welcome to you to the special occasion as we gather and witness the swearing in of our newest members of the Owatonna Police and Fire Department. Tonight, we not only welcome these dedicated individuals stepping forward into our public safety family, but also to affirm our shared values that give us purpose in serving our community. At the heart of our missions and the three core values, better together, community stewardship, and pride in our work. Better together reminds us that collaboration across departments with our community and among one another is essential to our core services. Community stewardship reflects our duty and responsibility to protect and serve each other and the people of Owatonna with integrity and compassion. And pride in our work speaks to the professionalism, dedication, and excellence that each of our teams bring to the job every day. These values are not just words, signs, and symbols in our workplace. They are lived out in every call answered, every life protected, and every relationship built with the people we serve. To the families and loved ones here tonight, and for your strength and support you provide us. And to our new team members, welcome. You are joining a tradition of service that is both honorable and humbling. It's my honor to introduce our newest police officers. Officers, can you please line up in front and face the audience, please?
As they get sworn in, if any family members, if you need a better vantage point to take photos, you are allowed to come within the dais and take photos.
Starting closest to me is Officer Iris Reyes. She'll be wearing badge number 134. Officer Reyes was born in Faribault, Minnesota, and raised in Northfield, where she graduated from Northfield High School. She went on to earn her associate's degree in law enforcement from Riverland Community College in May of 2024. Before beginning her law enforcement career, Officer Reyes worked with individuals with developmental disabilities, an experience that reflects her compassion and commitment to serving others. In September 2024, she was hired as a full-time police officer with the city of Owatonna. In her free time, she enjoys spending time with friends, family, traveling, being outdoors, and watching crime shows. Officer Reyes' badge will be pinned by her mother. Wearing badge 106 is Officer Connor McDonald. Officer McDonald grew up in Lakeville, Minnesota, and graduated from Lakeville North High School. At just 17, he began working at a family business as a preschool teacher in St. Paul, a role he held until the age of 21. In August 2023, Officer Connor joined the Owatonna Police Department as a community service officer, gaining valuable hands-on experience while continuing his police officer education at Normandale Community College. He earned his associate's degree in law enforcement in May of 2025. In June, Connor was hired as a full-time patrol officer. In his free time, Connor enjoys being outdoors, spending time with family and friends. Officer McDonald's badge will be pinned by his sister. Next is Officer George Jimenez, wearing badge number 123. I think he actually pronounces his name Jorge, but he says it's easier if you just call me George, so George. Officer Jimenez completed his peace officer education in Normandale Community College and his skills training at Center for Criminal Justice and Law Enforcement. He began his career as a correctional officer for the Steele County Detention Center, serving 3 years. In 2016, he became a licensed peace officer with the Austin Police Department, where he served 7 years, followed by 2 years as a deputy sheriff for the Moore County Sheriff's Department. With 9 years of professional law enforcement experience, George brings a wealth of knowledge, experience, and specialized skills. He served as a SWAT team operator, He served as a SWAT team operator, defense tactics and resistance instructor, field training officer, and has additional training as a negotiator and highway drug interdiction. Outside of work, George enjoys hunting, fishing, camping, and hiking. Officer Jimenez's badge will be pinned by his wife. And last, badge number 114 is Officer Kristen Steinberg. Officer Steinberg was born in St. Paul and attended Roseville High School and attended PSEO classes at Bethel University and Metropolitan State University. She later graduated with honors from Minnesota State University Mankato, earning a Bachelor's of Science degree in law enforcement. Kristen began her career with Ramsey County, serving as an adult correctional officer at an adult facility, and then deputy sheriff, serving a total of 3 years. She then relocated to southern Minnesota as a police officer for Elberly Police Department for 5 years before joining the Owatonna Police Department in October. Kristen also brings a strong background in police experience and specialized training. She's a certified field training officer and evidence technician, trained in mobile field force, and received the life-saving award in 2021. Kristen and her husband Josh, also a law enforcement officer, welcomed their first child, Addison, in March. In her free time, she enjoys camping, hiking, traveling, spending time with friends and family. Officer Steinberg's badge will be pinned by her husband Josh. At this time, I'd like to welcome the families up to pin the officer's badge. At this time, Mayor Jessup, will you please come forward and administrate the police officer oath of office?
Officers, would you please each raise your right hand? I,
I, Kristen Carol Steinberg,
I, Gordon Pettis,
I, Connor Edward McDonald,
I, Iris Reyes Meredith,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the laws of the City of Owatonna,
the laws of the City of Owatonna,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties as police officer for the City of Owatonna,
the duties as police officer for the City of Owatonna,
to which I have been promoted to the best of my knowledge and ability.
to which I have been promoted to the best of my knowledge and ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. Now I'd like to invite the new firefighters up. If you guys can come up. Take pose in the center there. I'd like to introduce our new firefighters. I'll be starting on the left, going through. The first one is Jacob Deshiel. He is our new assistant chief, fire chief, and fire marshal. This is a new position with the City of Owatonna, so we're really excited to have Jacob on. Before coming to Owatonna, he was deputy fire marshal for the City of Golden Valley. And prior to that, he worked in Brooklyn Park, worked for the Brooklyn Park Fire Department. When not at work, he enjoys spending time with his family. Jacob's wife, Kelsey, will be doing his pinning tonight. Next to Jacob, we have Justin Beeman. He is a resident paid-on-call firefighter. One thing just to point out is we have some firefighters that actually live at the fire station. So Justin is one of the people, that is his home. They have other jobs outside of the fire department, but they live there and help staff at night. So we're excited to have Justin with us. Again, he just recently completed his firefighter 1 and 2 certifications for Rural Lake Community College. And outside of the fire department, Justin enjoys spending time with his family and friends. And Justin will have his dad, Chris, pinning him tonight. Next to Justin, we have Isaac Potter. He is a paid-on-call firefighter, and he doesn't live at the station, but the paid-on-call firefighters, they carry pagers. When we need extra help, we page them, they come in and help with our full-time staff. So Isaac is that. He's originally from Rochester and is a new paid-on-call firefighter for us. In addition to recently completing his firefighter 1 and 2 certifications through Riverland, he also has his EMT certification. Outside of the fire department, he works as the EMT for Mail Ambulance and enjoys working on cars, playing basketball and pickleball in his free time. Isaac was at John doing painting tonight. And last but not least, we have Catherine Tepp. Catherine also recently completed her firefighter 1 and 2 certifications through Riverland Community College with Justin and Isaac. Her full-time job is for the Owatonna School District as a 4th grade teacher. So we figure that makes her very qualified to fit in with us at the fire department. Kate is very committed to serving our community as teaching and firefighter, so we're excited to have her with us. Her husband, Briar, will be doing her painting tonight. So with that, I'd like to introduce the folks coming up, or if you come up for the painting, please. We never train for an outfit like that. So next, I'd like to invite the mayor up to administer the oath of office to our new firefighters.
If you all please raise your right hands. I
Captain Tuck,
Isaac Potter. Justin Beeman. Jacob DeShiel.
do solemnly swear that I will serve the citizens of Owatonna
do solemnly swear that I will serve the citizens of Owatonna
and the firefighters of the Owatonna Fire Department with honor and integrity,
and the firefighters of the Owatonna Fire Department with honor and integrity,
that I will, in all respects, observe the provisions of the city charter and the ordinances of the city of Owatonna,
that I will, in all respects, observe the provisions of the city charter and the ordinances of the city of Owatonna,
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of
of the office of paid on-call firefighter,
Paid on-call firefighter. Resident paid on-call firefighter. Assistant fire chief and fire marshal.
to the best of my ability, judgment, and abilities, so help me God.
to the best of my judgment and abilities, so help me God.
Congratulations.
With that, I introduce all of you guys, and firefighters and police officers to the council, so I'll let you go around and introduce yourselves.
We'd like to conclude our ceremony tonight with a special prayer from our OP police chaplain, Pastor Josh Deary.
I am pleased to welcome you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. You are here for such a time as this, and we are honored to welcome you to our city. So thank you for that. With that, would you pray with me this morning or this evening? Heavenly Father, we come before you today with grateful hearts as we celebrate this important moment in the life and service of these individuals. We thank you for calling them to this position of leadership, protection, and sacrifice. Lord, we ask that you bless them with courage that stands firm in the face of danger, wisdom beyond their years, and compassion that reflects the heart of Christ. Fill them with your Holy Spirit that they may lead with integrity, serve with humility, and act always with justice and mercy. Place your hedge of protection around them, Lord. Guard their bodies, minds, and spirits. In the moment of crisis, be their calm. In the stillness of duty, be their strength. And when difficult decisions must be made, may your voice be the loudest they hear. Let them be a light in the darkness, a peacemaker in the storm, and a servant among their brothers and sisters in uniform. We also lift up their families and loved ones. Bless them with peace, patience, and deep assurance, knowing that you walk with them every step of the way. Lord, we entrust these officers and firefighters into your mighty hands. May their leadership and service bring honor to their departments, blessings to this community, and glory to your name. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Council President Rainey, returning it back to you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity during your meeting tonight at this time to swear in our newest police officers and firefighters. And at this point, if you could just give us a few minutes, we are going to actually exit. Anybody that is interested, welcome. We're going to be in the Art Center for conversation and some light refreshments. So we can start heading that way right now. Thank you.
So we will take a few minute break so they can exit and go to the Art Center.
No. A lot of people are here for the Seagulls.
first thing on our agenda tonight is Mayor Jessup, that he can, of course, this evening.
I do, I have one more. I do have a recommendation for a spot for park board. Eric Anderson and I had the opportunity to interview Carter Klecker last Tuesday, and found him to be a very fit candidate for that position, so with your permission, I'd recommend him for the park board.
Thank you. Any questions for the mayor on this? Hearing none, I look for a motion to approve Carter Collector to the park board.
So moved.
Motion by Dave, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Nate. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Carter. Carter, if you please raise your right hand. I, Carter Klecker,
I, Carter Klecker,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the laws of the City of Owatonna,
the laws of the City of Owatonna,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
that I will faithfully and partially discharge
the duties as a member of the Park and Recreation Board for the City of Owatonna,
the duties as a member of the Park and Recreation Board of the City of Owatonna,
to which I have been appointed
to which I have been appointed,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to be appointed to the best of my knowledge and ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you much.
Anything else this evening, Mayor?
That concludes my business.
Thank you.
Council President Reed.
We are now up to the consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of city council meeting minutes, other board commission minutes, licenses, permits, and miscellaneous items, all grouped together for the council to review prior to the meeting and vote collectively. With that, I will entertain a motion on these consent agenda items.
So moved.
Motion by Dan to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Don. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the consent agenda has been approved. We're now up to action items. First thing tonight is 3.1, the finance report. And for that, I will turn it over to Vice President Doug Voss.
Thank you, President Rainey. Here is a list of checks over $20,000 for your consideration for payment tonight. They are $21,852 to Central Farm Service for fleet fuel, $28,717 to Clifton Larson Allen for the 2024 audit of the HRA and city installment number 7, $60,000 to Coles Electric for the City Hall generator pay estimate number 1. $25,899 to Crane Creek for asphalt, $190,230 to Legion's subsidiary holdings, which is ICS, for the Public Safety Center and Community Center, $42,926 to Nero Engineering, that is for the wastewater treatment plant and data collection and sampling, $298,187 to the Owatonna Fire Relief Association, which is the 2025 Fire State Aid payment, $754,012 to Rice Lake Construction Group for the wastewater treatment plant expansion pay estimate number 41. Add to that, $286,295 of other expenditures for a grand total for your consideration $1,708,122.13.
Thank you. Council, you've heard the report. Are there any questions on it? Hearing none, I look for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Dan to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Don. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Finance report has been approved. We have 5 resolutions tonight. The first one is 3.2.1, Resolution 76-25, premise permit to conduct lawful gambling at Inside Swing, Owatonna Youth Hockey. And with that, we will go to City Administrator Jenna Tuma.
Thank you. Yes, we received an application from the Owatonna Youth Hockey Association to conduct gambling pull tabs. They do have a lease agreement with the Inside Swing, which is on Bridge Street. Per our city code section, we do allow up to 8 license per establishment and up to 5. And this is the 5th of the Owatonna Youth Hockey Association. So with that, there is a $250 fee. That's a budget impact, and with that, staff recommends approval of the license.
Thank you. Any questions for Jenna on this?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Doug to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Nate. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next resolution is 3.2.2, 77-25, preliminary and final plat of the Rooks Edition, and for that, we go to Troy Klepp. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. This is a request from Don and Shelley Rooks at 1790 Avenue Northwest. We currently have 3 single-family lots, looking to combine them into one lot consisting of 1.5 acres. This is in order for them to build an accessory structure, which they'll need a conditional use permit at a later date. There are 2 unused service connections in the 2 lots that are not being used, so they will need to enter into service disconnection agreement. There are 4 conditions in the staff report here. There was a public hearing at Planning Commission. Planning Commission recommended approval, so staff would recommend approval as well.
Thank you. Any questions for Troy on this? Hearing none, I look for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Dan to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Don. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Our third resolution tonight is 3.2.3, 78-12, to set the public hearing date to utilize the tax increment financing for Ascend South, and once again, we go to Troy.
All right, staff has been working with Redline Development Group on the second phase of the Riverfront redevelopment project, Ascend South. Developers request the use of tax increment financing to assist with the project. There would be over 21,000 square feet of commercial space and 57 apartments with underground parking as part of the project. There would also be a number of public improvements with this project. The final details of the TIF plan will be put together, and they will be available 30 days prior to the public hearing. So staff would recommend setting the public hearing for January 6th.
Thank you. Any questions for Troy on this? Hearing none, I'd look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion by David to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
And by Nate. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're now up to resolution 3.2.4, 79-25, purchase property at 228 East Pearl Street, and Troy Klecker again.
All right, the owner of the property at 228 East Pearl contacted the city with intentions to sell the property. He wanted to know if the city was interested. The property is just east of the entrance to parking lot to the law enforcement center. Under any plan for police or fire stations, property would be beneficial to have, as it allows some site options at that location. The sale price of the property is $200,000. And staff would recommend approval.
Thank you. Any questions for Troy on this? Hearing none, I'd look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Doug to approve, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Dan. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Our final resolution tonight is 3.2.5, 80-25, mediation agreement and release for the North Cedar Streetscape Project limestone. And for that, we go to Mr. Walbrand, our city attorney. Good evening, sir.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. The purpose of Resolution 8025 is to affirm the settlement of the city's claims against Casota Stone, JJD Contracting, and ISG Engineering in connection with the failure of the Casota Stone the North Cedar Streetscape project. The stone was installed in 2022. By the spring of 2023, the stone began to show cracks and chipping and spalling. The city presented its claims against the Casota as well as ISG and JJD. They in turn presented claims against the city, and they made claims against one another. Fortunately, the parties agreed to participate in the mediation in late 2024. Mediation, after a lot of testing of the different materials involved, the mediation was scheduled on and happened on October 28th. And after a long day there, we reached a total global settlement among the parties. Under the settlement, Casota agrees to remove all the defective stone, the Casota stone, and replace it with granite of a color and finish that's satisfactory to the city. In other words, replacing the limestone that was falling apart with granite. ISG, the engineering firm, provided its engineering services for the replacement of it and to advise the city on the selection of the granite. ISG and JJD released the city of their claims against the city. In exchange, the city will pay $175,000, which you should understand is the undisputed amount the city owed to JJD and ISG for work that was satisfactory. Secondly, the city will pay $75,000, which is the cost of the granite over and above the cost of the Casota stone. In other words, the $75,000 would have been money that would have been paid in 2022 had we gone with granite instead of Casota stone. The third element is that the city will pay $15,000 to resolve disputed claims between ISG and JJD and the city. In a nutshell, the city is paying $175,000 for work which ISG and JJD, which was satisfactory but withheld until the project was complete, and $75,000, which was the amount the city would have had to pay had it gone through granite in the first instance. And that's the 2022 cost of that upscale to granite. And then finally, the $50,000 is several unresolved claims of ISG and JJD. I'd like to thank Greg Kushner for all his work on this, Sean Murphy and Emily Thamer as well. I think we made a very reasonable settlement, which was a lot more satisfactory than having this go into litigation, which would have taken weeks to get resolved.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Any questions? Hearing none, I look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Dave to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Nate. Any further discussion? Doug?
Just one comment, Mark, you left yourself out of that, so thank you very much for your hard work on that. We've gotten a few of these out of the way in the last month, so we appreciate that.
All set. Any other comments? We have a motion and a second, so all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. We have two miscellaneous items tonight. The first one is 3.3.1, garbage refuse hauler permit for Countryside Rental LLC out of Kenyon, Minnesota. And we go back to City Administrator Tim.
Thank you. Yes, we did receive an application for a hauler refuse permit from the company of Countryside Rental from Kenyon, Minnesota. Per our code, we do require a license to collect or haul garbage within the city. The required insurance, payment of fees, and background verification is complete. Chief Mundell has no objections to the issues of this permit. The permit is an annual permit that expires on December 31st of each year. This license will be effective January 1st for 2026. The budget impact is $225 of fees that we collect. Staff recommends approval.
Thank you. Any questions on this? Hearing none, I look for a motion to approve. Motion by Nate to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Don. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Our final miscellaneous item tonight is 3.3.2, the agreement for the 2026 airport ordinance update with Short Elliott Hendrickson. And we go back to Troy Clark.
All right, our existing airport zoning ordinance was approved in 1998, and that reflected our existing runway length of 5,500 feet. As we move towards expansion of the runway to 7,000 feet, the zoning ordinance will need to be updated to reflect the plan to protect future development as shown in the airport layout plan. This will allow the city to stay in compliance with the state statutes and remain eligible for state funding. The scope of services include required project coordination, drafting of the zoning ordinance and associated maps, property research, conducting public hearings, and submittals to UNF. The airport commission has reviewed this and is recommending approval. The professional service agreement total is $32,600. This is eligible for a state grant in which 70% will be covered by the state and 30% by the city. So that'll be just under $10,000, $9,780, and this is under what we had planned in our capital improvement plan. So staff would recommend approval of this agreement contingent on securing the MDOT grant funding for the participation.
Thank you. Any questions for Troy?
Troy, tell us what the benefit of having 7,000 feet versus 5,500 is.
Well, 7,000 feet allows a larger airplane to land safely, accommodate more traffic. As we're moving the airport to handle more business traffic and encouraging our businesses to utilize the airport, having a 7,000 foot runway really allows more ability to handle those commercial airplanes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Troy? Hearing none, I look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Doug to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Dave. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Our staff report tonight is our library director, Mr. Mark Blanchard. Good evening.
Good evening, glad everyone showed up to hear my library report tonight, so I appreciate that. I just want to give a really quick thank you and a shout out to Jackson and our IT guys that fill in up there. They make us all look really good. That's not an easy job up there. I edit the videos to show on our public access channel, so they make everything really good. So good job, Jackson, Jason and Tim when they also fill in, so good job, guys. All right, ready for our library PowerPoint? So I thought I would focus on our 125th anniversary. That really kind of dominated everything that we did this year. As you know, we kicked off our anniversary on February 22nd. That was the day that the library officially opened, February 22nd, 1900. So it was a banner day for us. And we had a great, that's a good looking group, especially the guy on the right there. We really do appreciate the support of council. We had former library director Graham Benoit and Mary Kate Felt to show up. You see Chris there and John Pfeiffer, the head of our foundation. It was a really fun day. It was great to see people come out on a cold February day to talk about the library, to share some memories, and to kind of celebrate all that we do. So programming dominated our year. We kicked off our first really big program with Minnesota author William Kent Kruger. As his friends, he says, call me Kent, so I'm going to say Kent. Kent packed him in that day. That was one of those days that I'm glad the fire marshal wasn't around, because we probably had too many people up in our Gainey room. But he is a well-respected, well-read author. I think there were some people here there that day, but it was just one of those things that show the power of books, the power of words, and how it connects with so many people. So we were so glad to have Kent come, and he was gracious enough to sign books afterwards. So that was one of our banner events for this year. We also did a lot of fun, weird things. We had a mystery in the library. You can see sitting Christina there. We had a murder at the library. People had to come and solve. We had clues all throughout the library, but just one of those things. And I'm going to give a really, really quick shout out also to my staff. You know, this is going to be about a 5-minute PowerPoint, but all of these programs and all of these events took months and months to plan, and a lot of dedication, a lot of staff time. And I see Lizzie out there. Thank you for all your publicity for us in the People's Press. It really was a group effort, so these things couldn't be done without the power and imagination of all my staff. This was our summer reading program. This is one of the big things every year that we do. We can see the National Eagle Center and Sustainable Safari came to help us out. Our kickoff was first part of June. In May, we all go out to the schools, Darla and myself and the Children's Services staff, and we go talk to all the elementary kids and get them all fired up for summer reading. It's one of my favorite things that I do, so that by the time the kickoff program comes up, we had about 700 family members, kids, grandpas, grandmas, everything in between show up for our kickoff. So that's it's really the cornerstone of everything we do is our summer reading program. This year we also did an adult reading program. We would always have people come up and say, the kids have all the fun, why can't we do a reading program for adults? So again, awesome staff came together and put on an adult summer reading program, and there's just a few books or a few stats that we had. We had almost 3,000 books read, 566 entries. People got to enter when they finished the book. They got an entry into a prize drawing. We had, like I said, 566 entries. Most people, as his friends call him, Kent, read Kent. The most read book was One Gold Summer. It was just an awesome, awesome experience, and we would have people come up and turn in their entries and say, give me more. And it was one of those things that, again, just goes to the heart of what we're trying to do at the library, connect people with books. The other thing that we do that's really, really popular, this is the second year that we did it, is our Gem Days book sale. This has taken the place of the traditional book sale that they used to do December 26th after Christmas. We always had a big book sale at the library. We've kind of shifted focus a little bit to Gem Days. We take advantage of all the traffic that's downstairs, all the people that are downtown, all the people that are around, and trying to bring them into the library. So again, this was the second year. I'm going to plug it again because we're going to do it again next year. But one of those win-wins. We get a lot of donations for things that we can't use, or books that we have weeded that we can't use in the collection anymore. So we put those up for sale, really, really, really cheap. Sundays, Saturdays, we have to do a $1 bag sale. You see all those books on there. 90% of those were gone by Saturday. So just a huge staff effort, and just a great way to help tie into Gem Days downtown. We were also really fortunate to have a New York Times bestselling author, Drew Daywalt. That is exactly what his hair looks like in real life. He says he looks like a crayon. He kind of does. Just the nicest guy in the world. If you're not familiar with The Day the Crayons Quit, if you have grandkids or nieces, young nieces and nephews, they're all very familiar with this book. It was one of the most popular children's picture books in the last few years. This was one of those programs that, we were doing 125th, and I went to my children's librarian, Darla Lager, and said, who would you like to have come out? And she said, Drew Daywalt. I said, well, I guess the worst you could say is no, but Drew was kind enough to say yes. Came all the way out from Los Angeles to visit us. He spoke at Washington Elementary, so he had a chance to really connect with a lot of kids there and did a couple of programs here at the library. So this just happened back in October, and we're still talking about the fun times that Drew brought to our library. This was the now that you talk about a good-looking group. This was the haunted library that we did. This are real people from the library's past that came to life. A huge shout out to Nancy Valancourt, who came up with our bios. The good guy in the overalls, I'm Hans Anderson, the janitor. That actually is my son next to me. I volunteered him he had to come help us out. But you can see our staff. Jeff is the architect. Christina is Maud, who's the former librarian that still haunts our library. I can't remember who's where, I apologize. But one of those things that tied in history with a little bit of actor showmanship, and people were able to go all throughout the library and learn a little bit about our history, and that was a lot of fun. The New Balance shoes were not historically accurate, so I do apologize for that. This was our Coptober program. That's our poor librarian, Allison Lutz, thrown in jail. Coptober, I think this is about the 4th year that we've done this. This is our collaboration with the police department. It was a spitzy, rainy, cool, yucky day, and I think we still had, I can't remember, over 200 people show up. Jen and Emily and Rachel were gracious enough to stop by and take everything in, but we can't do this without our partnership with the police department. They put on such a great show. We put on a book walk, but it's, you talk about better together, and this is the epitome of that both of our departments take our strengths and combine them into a great program for all the families of the community. So proud to do Coptober every year. And this was our family scary story night. So you see Christina and Allison around the fireplace telling spooky stories. This was just a couple of weeks ago before Halloween. After the kids got their spooky story, they were able to decorate little pumpkins. Proud to say that Christina only made one kid cry with her spooky story. So one of the other things that this is the second year we've done it, but we continue to do it, is our podcast. Yes, we do have a library podcast. It's called Who Do We Think We Are? Based on the Dewey Decimal System. I know we're pretty clever.
The what?
The Dewey. I'm going to go on to a little program about the Dewey Decimal System. This is just a way for us to talk about things that we love. Talk about books. We talk pop culture. We talk about whatever crosses our mind. So if you haven't had a chance to listen, it's a lot of fun, and it just shows the personality of our staff beyond that interaction that you get at the front desk with them. So it is available on all podcast platforms, so we're really, really proud of that. And I know Jeff Lauk showed this off a few months ago, but I really want to re-emphasize this again. Again, I'm going to lean into that better together. This was our stained glass tree that was tucked under our stairway for years and years and years, and we tracked it down and had a couple of different ideas about how to display it. And I give Jared O'Brien a lot of credit. He came up with this idea for putting it in the window, and his city facilities staff did just an amazing job. And we still get compliments at least once a week of people coming in, either remembering it or just saying, hey, that looks really, really, really nice. Big thanks to our city's facility staff. And one I did get a picture in, we also got our new sign out in front with our new city branding and the public library logo. So if you get a chance to drive down Broadway, it's up. And again, shout out to our facilities and legacy signs for helping us out there. Any questions about?
Any questions for Mark? Nate, I know you don't have any, you can't read.
I need to see, yeah.
Accurate. I got audio books though.
Okay.
Listening books, not reading books.
I would just have a comment. The library isn't the library that we grew up with. It's not just about going and checking out books. As you can see, Mr. Blando and his staff are really trying to get as many people as possible to learn many, many things. He's constantly bringing in authors and you know, the scary night and everything. Thank you for really going above and beyond what a library used to be.
Right,
It's very exciting, and you can tell the passion as you are here.
I appreciate that, so thank you. It's all, you know, my staff is very dedicated and very passionate about what they do, so, and it shows every day in the work that they do, but I do appreciate those words, thank you.
And I do believe Mr. Boss was arrested that day, was he not, in October?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
My grandkids had a great time with that.
So, all right, thank you. Thank you, Mark. We're now up to public comments. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Please approach the microphone, sign in, and state your name and address for the record after being acknowledged by the council president. Speakers will be limited to 3 minutes to deliver their comments. Councilmember Vice President Voss will be timing and hold up one hand after 2 minutes, 45 seconds to notify the speaker they have 15 seconds to complete their comment. Those speaking are asked to conduct themselves in a respectful manner as they deliver their comments. Audience members are asked to refrain from reacting to comments. The City Council will not respond directly to comments in this venue or take immediate action in response to them. With that, we will open up the public comments.
Good afternoon. My name is Sarah Sanchez. I live right down here on Riverside Avenue, so very close to West Hill. So a lot of this is very, it makes me reminisce a lot. I have a lot of times spent in council chambers and in the mayor's office when Pete Connor was mayor, so I got to, it's nice to be in these rooms again. But council members, I just wanted to take a few moments and first just recognize that I do speak respectfully to every single one of you. I do not mean to respect or disrespect anybody, but I do rise today in strong opposition to the proposed 13% tax levy, not because I oppose supporting our police and fire departments, but because this process has failed to meet the standard of public engagement. Financial transparency, or fiscal transparency, and accountability that all of us and our residents deserve. To be clear, and remind us, Owatonna voters just rejected a school district levy, not out of lack for care of for education, but because families in our community are experiencing real financial strain. We cannot ignore what is already going on. Inflation remains high. Our local food bank, which as we know, has seen historic increases in demand, as residents struggle to afford our basic necessities. To put it to you plainly, many of us Owatonnans cannot absorb another tax hike right now. A 13% increase will disproportionately impact the people who are already struggling the most. Those are the lower income households who are choosing between groceries and gas, making those bills that they need to make, or choosing what they're going to be limited in buying, especially now. Seniors on fixed incomes who cannot keep pace with rising property taxes, who I learned someone on the council laughed when they heard that. Tell that to the people I work with and talk to on a day-to-day basis. Please, if you're gonna say it amongst your meetings, you can say it to us. Again, I ask that respectfully. Small business owners whose razor-thin margins are already strained by inflation. Young families trying to purchase their first homes to afford daycare and work. And that is something that I hear over and over and over again in these groups, and as someone who worked in childcare for many years. They will be priced even further out of the market and living the Owatonna dream. So, yet despite these realities, our city leadership has not meaningfully engaged the public on a levy of this magnitude. A tax increase of this scale demands a clear, transparent process, not a sturdy decision-making or limited opportunities for residents to weigh in. Before you
Thank you. evening.
This is my very first council meeting. I've never been to one. Don't live in Owatonna for very long. But my question is, you wrote out.
Excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
Could you state your name, please?
Oh, it's Kelly Silverman.
Thank you.
So you guys were going through all those checks that you wrote in the very beginning. Where did all that money go? Where did it come from? Is that taxpayers' money? All that $1 million checks that you were saying I to, is that all taxpayers' money that paid all that? Yes, thank you for answering. Okay, I'm just checking, because I don't remember hearing about any of those things. The limestone, was that also all that upgrade that was done in downtown, that was paid through taxpayers' money, correct? Yes. Okay, I don't, like I said, I haven't lived here for very long. And I'm kind of learning what's going on, and I get a lot of misinformation off of what's happening and all that nonsense, so that's why I decided to come here and kind of listen to you guys. So I'm just kind of concerned again, where all the money goes and who votes for that. Do we get to vote? Where do you spend it? Thank you for being the only one answering me out of all of you. I'm looking to you. The guy who runs my board is not here apparently, because I'm in the 5th district, 5th ward. Brad or Fred? Available. So I would have called him, but I didn't know we could call them. So thank you for answering the questions. Is there any way that any of the local people can get involved in deciding where all this money goes? Because I work really hard. My income does not reflect all the money, like she said, the tax increases, and mine went up 16%, more than America. And I'm just kind of wondering, I get it, you gotta spend the tax money, the school is over budgeted, we all heard about that. I don't have children here. I have none, and I'm paying for a school that I don't have anybody going to. So I'm just kind of wondering, how do you get involved in helping making those decisions on where our tax money goes? Because I don't think it's going in the right direction. Limestone, yes, it's very pretty. I don't go downtown. I don't care. I want it done in my road construction, which took forever. There's a lot of different projects that I think could be done. And I'm just kind of wondering where you can get the information, where the budget breaks down, where I can read where all of my tax money is going, and making sure it's being used correctly. Because that was a lot of money that just went out the door real quick. And I'm like, holy crap, I'm sitting there going, wow, that's a lot of money, and where it's going. And I don't think I'm the only one that's, it's not concerned about that. Again, my very first meeting. And I was amazed with the money that just went out the door. Any answers? Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
15 seconds.
That's it, thank you. So you're gonna want to appreciate you answering. I'm just made that nobody else would guess that's where it is. So maybe we'll talk to you kind of explain a little bit more. That'd be awesome.
We can talk after meeting, but we typically don't respond directly, right?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Tammy Ingleson. I'm agreeing with everything the first woman said. You know, there's a lot of people here in Owatonna that are on very tight budgets, and we have to live on the amount that we have. The COLA increase is not helping to pay our regular bills and the cost of food and how much everything has gone up, even insurance, all these different areas. And I think if you're gonna raise raise our taxes 13%. I'm all for the police department and the fire department, but if you want to make a 13% increase on our taxes on people that are right now, like she said, they hardly can get by on what they have right now, I think that needs to go to a vote, and that the people here of Owatonna should have say in this. That shouldn't be just the decision of a few of you here. Come and live with come and see how some of these people are living and what they're going on, the little bit that they're going on. Put it up for a vote. Thank you.
Tina Schaefer, resident of Owatonna. My focus, I think two focuses of transparency and tax burden. And I think a lot of what I'm hearing in the community is, we didn't know. I never heard about this. It's already so far along. Wait a minute, I thought they were just like talking about it. But now we have locations and we have budget proposals and we have already paid out for consultation, and a lot of work's already been done, and I think the community is just now, a lot of us, me included, is just becoming aware of it. And so that transparency of what is all happening, what is all being talked about at other meetings, and how do we become aware of that? And I know you say it's online, but you know, I'm searching and I'm not finding stuff. So if there's a way where you can help the community with that, would be wonderful. And then the tax burden also, we just got our taxes and, you know, ours went up significantly already. And I was just wondering if the council has had the conversation of, what is our line? What is our cap? What are we willing, what tax burden are we willing to put on our citizens here? And where are we saying, no, that this plus this plus this plus this is now too high. It's too much of a tax burden. And until we can pay off some of this, we're not gonna include new things. So I guess, I know you can't answer questions, but I appreciate all the work you guys do, believe me. I know you guys have put in a ton of time and work, and I appreciate that, and I thank you for that. But I'm just hearing, I think those are our two main things, transparency and then the tax burden.
Tyrell Alistair Hunter, 210 Oak Avenue, apartment 306. I just want to also stand up and reaffirm also the transparency. I showed up to the 6 o'clock meeting, it's on the website, during tonight. That 6 o'clock meeting was rescheduled to this afternoon. Many of the people in this room showed up to attend that meeting. It didn't happen, well, it happened early, and it wasn't advertised appropriately, and nobody was able to attend. Additionally, this lady over here talked about tax burden. We've had layoffs in many businesses here in town, layoffs in the cities, 1,800 people at Target. Right now, people are losing jobs. It's not the time to build and make something. Maybe we should just pause, see what happens with the economy, and take the project back up in a couple of years.
Good evening. Gail Jorgensen, 249 East Main Street here. I come before you to ask you to remind you to be good stewards. To be good stewards of the elderly, the people in Social Security like me. Social Security doesn't make it, so usually you have a pension, your savings, investments, and with the economy, that's important. And so what happens with senior citizens, even the younger senior citizens, you decide what's important, you know, what you put off, you know, who you help a grandkid, you know, you do a big project on the house. So for a lot of the elderly, they put those projects off, and then there's deterioration in the neighborhood, and, you know, urban blight creeps in, because the elderly are just gonna say, well, let somebody else do it. And that goes along with like hiring somebody to do lawn work. But I do think in this case, having it off to the side, you know, you need to do matching, you can do art. That's what we're celebrating in this building with, the architects in the past and the architects that we've had work in the city, many of which were Owatonna born and bred. There's a long list I found out, including the descendants of the Hamel builders, have a big architecture firm in St. Paul. So if you're gonna spend this kind of money, when the time comes, let it be art, let it be something you can have. But in the meantime, understand the resentment and the anger the citizens have and having taxes continually increase, having no say into a big project like this, or you feel like there's no say. You know, that's gonna be resentment, that's gonna be, that, you know, you see the resentment at the high school, now this is going to be at police and fire. They have a job, they don't want to come home at the end of the day. They don't need people breathing under their breath that, you know, their taxes are going up for this big fancy building. You know, we don't need that. We need the public to engage and cooperate. And that might mean they have to be overwhelmingly crystal clear, but that's part of being a good steward. And there's something else, now I'm gonna get, is not really gonna be.
Thanks, Gail.
Okay. I didn't mean to give you a big stewardship lecture like a pastor, but I believe in God when he asked for 10%.
Melissa Zimmerman, 2525 Stony Drive. I too, like many residents, showed up at 6 o'clock tonight. I know city council here. I wanted to be here at 1 o'clock, however, I had 3 sick kids at home, so that wasn't feasible. I cleared my schedule to make it to 6 o'clock when my husband was done working, only to find out that that meeting had been rescheduled. But as of 5:55, it was still listed on the agenda at 6 o'clock. That's concerning for open meeting laws. We also showed up at the West Hills Commission, only to find out that decisions for the safety center had already been made. Again, residents are saying they're gonna do what they wanna do, and it's because we're lacking the transparency. The decisions are being made before they're brought to the, appropriate commissions and to the people to make decisions. We have a 13% levy in front of us. We just had special property taxes 2 years ago. And again, we're looking at the same thing, because the taxes are increasing significantly so quickly. This is not what it should be. It's my understanding that we're planning for the safety center in the budget now. The economy is poor. We're all choosing necessities over wants. I heard that they want to build the police station here. I'd like you to pay attention to this Letting Hill, because that's really the only option that our youth have right now for what they can do around town, and it doesn't cost anything, especially as these times are getting harder. What happens if we just simply pause on the safety center for a year or two? My family is a family that unfortunately needs the police and fire, and we appreciate their services, and we've needed to use them more times than I want. But what if we just pause on it? What if we give it a year or two, let the economy figure itself out, and then we decide what to do? We can still have that safety center, but let's wait and see what happens. Thank you.
shows the south stand with a panoramic view of disc golf launch pads, homes, or the park. Well, they fixed that by taking out the brand new hole number 10 baskets, making the hole unusable, and putting up no disc golf allowed for 1 month signs, affecting not only the new hole, but holes of all disc launch pads in the vicinity, so taking out half the course. Well, after 2 city councilmen saw that, Park and Rec was asked to meet on this. The solution was to take out the no disc golf allowed for a month signs and replace them with the orange "Park is open but we are hunting" signs every 50 feet surrounding this wonderful new course addition, paid for by all the taxpayers, becoming a virtual fence, still saying "stay out," especially since the basket is still gone. Why shouldn't it be? If the discers playing the hole, they would be walking right underneath this well-sighted deer stand. Also, arrows pointing to deer and DNR can ricochet off trees, flat rocks, or 4 beautiful new disc golf pads in every direction. So, getting the picture, this south stand is incredibly dangerous, and now the public disc golfers are being told to stay away, even though the semantics say the park is open. Janine Borland of the DNR also said, "The park is open, enjoy the parks. Don't use fences, don't alarm the public." Using the south stand misses every point. All the orange signs politely saying "stay out," not celebrating this new disc golf course for the taxpayers that paid for it, but cordoning off for the sake of one person, and it is incredibly dangerous. Remember, Kaplan stands were pushed back. Now there's 90 acres between deer stands and the parking lot. But this south stand has 4 launch pads within 110 to 140 feet of it. This could all have been averted by choosing the perfect compromise of the north stand. You need to fix this. Give the hunter the north stand where he is uninterrupted, and give the park back to the disc golfers and the people who paid for it. Thank you for listening.
Anyone else this evening?
Keith Reese, 406 State Avenue, you might know that as the big yellow house at the bottom of the slide. I used it at the West Hills Commission meeting yesterday. You know, when that snow flies, I sit in my house and I hear kids giggling all year round, until that snow stops, I should say. Even in the summer, they go out there with the week out kids and they do their cones runs and all these other things that they're doing up there. According to the West Hills Commission yesterday, they were saying that they're gonna eliminate every tree from there, basically my house, to the sledding, along with the sledding. None of us were privy to any of this information. The gal that talked earlier has been watching your website for 3.5 years and didn't know about that meeting until the day before. And once again tonight, we were supposed to, 1 to 6, whatever, we were supposed to be here at 6, but we showed up at 6. You were not. I understand you ended your meeting earlier, but like I asked, Ms. Tuma, I was talking to her earlier, saying, why couldn't you stop your meeting and then wait until 6 p.m. for us to be here to have that ending part of that meeting? There's a lot of lack of transparency, and people aren't happy with it. Once we went to the West Hills Commission meeting, West Hills Commission said that they didn't have anything to really say yes or no to, they just can advise you guys. Well, I just don't understand why we're not told about these things. If I put a garage up on my property, I have to petition my whole neighborhood. We moved there for the park-like atmosphere. Now we're gonna get a double-car garage to look at with 25 people on Glendale to look at. And we weren't told about any of this stuff. I understand you're trying to save $3.5 million, and taxes are a huge issue, as we already heard. But there's gotta be something else to do. $3.5 million on a $61 million project? Is that really the determining factor of where this is gonna go? I just don't understand why we're not being filled in on this information. The transparency hasn't really been there, and I don't think you've taken into consideration what the West Hills sledding hill means to the people in this side of town. We're already kind of, a little bit poorer side of town with the state street apartments, and those kids have nothing to do. They have nothing to do but run the streets or go to that hill and go sledding and get the anxiety out of them that way. I just don't understand. So it's a done deal according to most of you. Mr. Dodson said it wasn't, but that's a different situation, so I don't know. But I just don't understand why we weren't filled in more on the information. It's told us on the website. Website's horribly hard to navigate, and I work in communications. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
I'm going to make a comment. I'm Jeanette Clausen, the Administrative Coordinator for the City of Owatonna. The error in today's meeting was my mistake. It is not council, it's not mayor, it was not them. On the agenda was posted on Friday, and it did say that the study session was beginning at 1 and the topics on that. Our calendar had been put out there 2 weeks ago saying that there was a session starting at 1 and a session starting at 6. Last week, we were told to change that, and our meeting schedule was properly posted, showing that the study session began at 1 o'clock for those items of topic. Unfortunately, I did not update it on our calendar on the website. That is on me, not on the council, not on staff, not here. When you talk about transparency, I think that the city has gone above and beyond. We have 3 meetings, there are 2 on scheduling. We have a calendar, we have a meeting schedule, we have an agenda. Unfortunately, I made a mistake, and that is on me. And I'd also like to add, I've been with the city for 15 and a half years, and that has never happened before.
Hello, my voice is going out. 10:15 now. And want to talk about the tax increases? Has it been bonded yet? We've gone past that point. Does anybody know that? Yes, we bonded the buildings yet. There's no bonding yet? Okay, so if there's bonding that goes up with increases, there's a statute of reverse revenue, 47 point. And we can reverse that and bring it to a vote. And I think that's one thing we need to look at as citizens, because we need 50% of the general election vote, which would have been right around 1,000, which we need 1,100 signatures to get that done. And then one other thing I think we need to possibly look at is maybe a state auditor review to make sure we are being transparent, because it seems like I just learned about this increase about a month ago, and I do kind of look at the city site and, keep track. And I'm a younger guy, but I got kids in Lincoln School, and so I'm very involved with that. So I'm a little confused of, just learning about this kind of through the city website. You guys are posting that roughly about a week ago on, questions and answers, or written questions, but I really didn't like the fact that when this started. So I think there's more transparency needed. I think we need an audit review from the state to make sure that we are following proper procedures, and that if you're going to start bonding ahead on these buildings, the property and everything, that if the city does feel strongly about it, you go ahead and start the reverse referendum, and we get the signatures. And this is kind of like an education just for the citizens, because there are procedures out there that protect them from having to be pretty much forced to do this, and we can get a vote instead. That's all I got.
I'm here tonight to affirm the city council and the
Could you state your
Owatonna
name,
Police
please,
Department.
sir?
Jim Olberg.
Thank you, Jim.
I signed in the paper. Jim Ogre. I'm here tonight to affirm the City Council and the Owatonna Police Department of your conversations, discussions, and plans to review the dynamics of the July 2025 Pride in the Park event in preparation for the 2026 event. I'm grateful that no one was physically injured this year. However, I was traumatized that day by defaming words shouted by the protesters that attendees were going to hell and that attendees are perverts. Your work to prepare for the free speech dynamics of this year's event is challenging. While the First Amendment of our nation's Constitution decrees free speech, the line between dangerous and harmless speech can be difficult to determine. The right to free speech does not allow anyone to overpower another person's right to free speech. In my opinion, free speech is not always an absolute, since free speech does not include screaming the word fire in a crowded theater. Also, free speech includes the right not to hear harmful, demeaning, or condemning speech. Therefore, I offer a suggestion regarding events at our parks. Allow protesters to be present, but limit their space to 25% of the park. Limit the volume of protesters to human voice capabilities, meaning no amplification. In addition, along the line between attendee and protester spaces, the city provides a round table with 4 chairs on each side of the line. This space provides event and protest leaders a public opportunity to experience the beauty and wonder of free speech at its highest level. The exchange of positions, perspectives, ideas, and opinions, along with the hope that someday there will be reconciliation. In my opinion, these suggestions are in harmony with our city's vision, which is to create a better tomorrow where our community feels safe and supported. Our city mission, which is we serve with a visual presence in our community through crime prevention partnerships and protection of life, property, and the constitutional rights of all, and values, which is teamwork, fairness, integrity, and professionalism. Thank you, and my best to all of you.
Thank you. Anyone else this evening?
First officer is 100% right in what she said at the beginning of this meeting about this increase in taxes. It's ridiculous, guys. I can't think of any person working on it who would not get laughed out of their office if they walked in and asked for a 30% increase in their pay. That's essentially what you're kind of doing to us. It needs to stop. It really does. We need to slow down. I'm not saying we don't need these things. Economy is growing. Taxes increase right now, probably one of the first ideas. Take a pause. I just found out about this a week ago. And then go back into transparency. And I'm probably tired of being wrong. But it's not really out there. Or if it is, it's not, if you guys believe it is, it's just not there as much as you think it is. To be honest. I'm so frustrated. I just found out about this. And after sitting here for an hour and odd minutes, you just did it on a piece of property. Basically sounds like to me, y'all made up your minds. They could care less what we have to say. It's really what it says. And remember, next year's voting season. Thank you. I can give you the
Good evening, Mark Model, Owatonna, Havana Road. We have a family farm, so I kinda understand how the business side of things work. You guys, I've lived here since 2000, and the wants and needs and wants and wish list of this town is ridiculous. So, I guess what we do for business, when times get tough and spending, yeah, I want lots of new stuff too, but we fix and do what we gotta do to maintain. It's not there. And you guys can't keep relying on Joe Public to pay for your wants and needs, because people are getting sick of it. The levy for the school, that should speak for itself. And all of you are gonna be up for an election again. And you know what's gonna happen? Because people are sick and tired of it, and you guys don't seem to care either way. But I appreciate your time. I come to see what other people had to say, voice their opinions. But you guys need to be, you're gonna be held responsible for your actions here. This is getting ridiculous. The tax amounts that have went up in the last 6 years is insane. You guys are one of the highest taxed cities around. I know people in Rosemont that have a 10,000 more price, taxed house, and their taxes are $1,000 less than mine. This is insane. You all will be held accountable.
Anyone else?
Scott Orkin, Downtown Housing Protection. My concern is our financial foresight in our community. I'm all for taxes, I'm all for new progress in the community. I'm actually on some of the county boards and stuff over the years. My concern is my 20.4% increase in taxes. What's it doing, especially when I've been in my house for 36 years, and my property value went up $49,000 this year. And it's like, I need to get out of the financial market, get into the real estate market in Owatonna. I figure my house is gonna be worth another $500,000 in 10 years, so I'm just looking at, hopefully, we have better financial foresight, what we do in our community. And I got a son in the audience, what it does for him, what it does for my kids and my grandkids down the road in 5, 10 years, where we're spending this money. And, so anyway, with that being said, thanks for your time, and thanks for doing what you do, guys. Thanks. Yeah.
Anyone else? Seeing no one approaching, we will now go to council comments, and the first up tonight is Councilmember Bogan.
No further comments.
Councilmember McCann.
No comments.
Councilmember Voss.
Yes, I would like to mention, I happened to be out and about last night at 5:30, and I saw our first responders responding to a fire, and I had a chance to sit back in the shadows and watch their response, and I was extremely proud of the guys we have working for us. They're awesome, they did a great job. Fire, I think you guys were there in less than 5 minutes, it's amazing. And I got to see some of the police officers working with the displaced folks there, and they were very compassionate, kind, and took great care of them. So I was very proud of you guys. Thank you for doing that.
Well said. Councilmember Dotson.
Just a couple things. Number one, we talk about this a lot when it comes to property taxes. If you qualify, there is an option to defer your property tax payments. Talk to the county assessor or the auditor's office if you want to explore that option. Can you, Jenna, do you recall the date when we approved the preliminary levy? You know what meeting that was?
September 16th.
Right. So, it has been out there, it has not been widely reported on. I did not vote for it, as some of you may know. But that information has been out there, but it's a constant battle to try and make that information available. I did also ask city staff to make all of the presentations we saw today available online for anybody that intended to come to the meeting and see that, so we will make that available. And I'm gonna get on my soapbox a little bit about financial challenges we find ourselves in. Cities, have increasing costs just like homeowners do. We have a very large problem in our country. We print way too much money. We have devalued our money significantly. You see it, we see it as well. So while I wasn't supportive of the levy increase, I certainly understand why there's a need to increase that to some degree. But until we have a willingness to look at our debt and devaluing our money, this is going to be a consistent problem for many years to come. Thank you.
Councilmember Burbank.
Just like to thank the audience for showing up twice tonight. Sorry about that deal. It's very difficult to come up to that microphone. One of the hardest things in life. So I just wanted to say thank you for showing up and participating.
Thank you. Councilmember Volkey.
I do have one comment. Owatonna and the city is masters of putting off, of refurbishing. Our fire hall is 120 years old, for crying out loud. Our library is 125 years. So, can you work on the equipment without pulling it outside? Our first responders deserve the original. They have no decontamination.
For the taxpayers, no.
This isn't a debate. This isn't a debate, it's my comment time. We're the masters of refurbishing old street department buildings that the state and the county rejected. We took them on, it wasn't time. It wasn't time. Okay, we're kicking this can down the road so far. Now we say, let's wait another couple of years. The only thing that's gonna do is raise the price by 5% every year. That's all it's gonna do. Can everyone tighten up? It'd be nice if you guys would come up here every meeting and get in the weeds with us. See what we're talking about with employees, how our money is spent. It's easy to stand up now and say, hell no, I ain't gonna do that. Come on and get in the weeds with us. Come and figure it out.
I'd be happy to do it, Dan.
No comments, please, sir. It's our time. Every Tuesday we're here, first and third Tuesday. First and third Tuesday of every month we're here.
During the day or when people can actually
You
show
know,
up?
when you say, let's cut back, let's do this, let's do that. You know, we celebrated 125 years on our library. The next week the roof blew off. Where do you come up with that money? You know, do you have any idea how much money we spend on roofs? That's all I've got to say. Thank you.
Commenting on that roof.
Mayor Jessup.
First off, thank you for being here tonight. This whole thing doesn't function without you. Everybody up here on the dais, council members, myself, we're all elected because we wanted to serve, we wanted to be here, we wanted to hear from you. That's tantamount, that's critical, it's the most important thing that we do. The most important thing to me going into this was hearing people's voices. So thank you for being here. If you stood up and spoke, thank you. It takes big seeds to stand up there and say something. Most people would rather die than speak in public.
Yeah.
So thank you. Back to the beginning, one of the things I got to do early on in my term was swearing in for the fire department and the police department. So having the opportunity to do that again here tonight was an honor, it was a privilege. It's one of the best parts of this job. To honor our public safety personnel in that way and be part of that ceremony was wildly meaningful, and I appreciate every second of those things. That's it.
Thank you. This is Administrator Tillman, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right, thanks. First of all, the operation falls underneath my deal. So Jeanette, you took it for me, I was gonna own that one, so I do apologize for that. Let's see, we did have our 6 p.m. we had our 7 p.m. presentation of our officers and firefighters, and so realizing the impact that you saw the room was full. And so a few weeks ago, we did make that change because we did have our afternoon study session, and worked with in there. Again, we thought we had it advertised correctly. We will make the slide deck available for people to see that. You can find my name on the website, along with Emily Thamer, our Assistant City Administrator, and anyone who wants to go through that slide deck. I will offer my time so you would have a fair, updated information for that. Along with that, this afternoon, the council heard that the first quarter of 2026, we will be holding an open house or a town hall to discuss what the safety centers are and the why behind it and the reason why we are recommending to move forward with it. I think it's really valuable information that you will understand a little bit more why we're recommending what we are doing. I heard a lot about transparency, and we work our tail off to be transparent. It's hard because everybody gets their information in different ways. But I did want Jackson to pull up our website, and right on it says notify me. If you click on this, you can do it while we're doing it. If you click on this, you'll get to an area where you can subscribe. So every time there's an agenda posted, anytime there's a news flash posted, anytime you pick your topic, and all you do is click on it, put your email in there, and then say you'll want to receive that. You will be in the know. Is way more than you want to probably be in the know, because you can pick topics to when we're putting fertilizer down on our golf course, to when there is a park and rec meeting. So there's a whole long list here. It's right there for you to click and subscribe to it. They'll come to your email address or to your email box. So perfect way to do it. You can even have it go to your cell phone if you'd like. So I want to make sure people are aware of that, and it's available. Deanna Shealy does a nice job writing stuff up, putting it out there, and pushing it out there. I know not everybody reads the newspapers, but this is where your place to do it. The second one is I also want to thank our firefighters and our police officers for the structure fire who responded to it. I heard it during our department head meeting, just how the two departments work together, but more importantly, how we were able to take care of the folks in need. My last one I have is, I usually give these updates every year. We had our first hunt closed down. We had 24th year that were during our calling was taken during the first hunt. We do start the second calling this, I think it started today or soon too, and ends in December. That's all I have.
Thank you. And I just want to touch on one thing in regards to the fire station. Right now, our men and women that go out and go into buildings that there are chemicals, there's all kinds of carcinogens in there. They go out there and they risk their lives to protect property and lives. One of the big challenges that we have is when they come back to the station, they need to get their turn-off gear. They need to remove that. It needs to be in a segregated area to be absolutely cleaned to remove the carcinogens that are in there. They also need another set of turnout gear so that if there's another fire, just when they get back to go, they need to be able to put on new uniforms. Right now, we don't have the room to do these very basic functions. And I would hope that everyone would agree that we owe it to our employees to remove any opportunity for carcinogens to enter their body. I don't know why you'd shake your head no. I have had my father and my brother pass away from cancer. And yeah, it's that important to me. We can debate the numbers, hold off, do it now. We can do that, but there are a lot of challenges to a 125-year-old building. It's my job, it's the council's job to do what we can for the safety and integrity of our firefighters, our police officers, our first responders. And I will just leave it at that for this evening. With no other business before us, I'd look for a motion to adjourn.
So,
Motion by Dan to adjourn, do I have a second?
second.
Second by Dave, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.